Welcome those of you that just watched New England take down Detroit. Tom Brady on third down, scans the field and gets sacked. Grady Jarrett brings him down. But then a flag flies. A flag comes out at the end of the play.
Oh. Around and he's got him by the hips and he's rolling through the tackle.
Defense, number 97. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
I'm with you, Coach. I don't understand that one. Brady's coming all the way from here. Watch him come all the way around. Now he's going to be down onto the hips of Tom Brady while he's in pursuit, so he's spinning around too. There's no intent to hurt the quarterback, right? Don't know how you call that. That is not in the spirit of the rule, the way it was created to protect quarterbacks going to the ground. I feel it, Coach.
That is bad at any stage of any game. But here, potentially helps decide the game. Instead of the Falcons getting the ball back with plenty of time, it's a first down for the Bucs.
Fuck you, Jerome Boger. Hey guys, welcome to the DBC Film Room. I am your host, Rip Cliff, as always. And this week, we are looking at the Week 5 matchup between the Bucs and the Falcons. I just want to say up front that this game was very interesting to review and break down. A lot of things I thought that I would have issue with. Watching back, really actually think that we played a very solid game throughout in this game, and I'm very positive, even though the game, for everybody knows why the game ended the way that it did, and it put a stain on this game. But overall, I think this was a very good game, a very interesting game for a lot of players. It was not a perfect game by far. I'm not saying that, and I will have some criticisms for this game, but I was just really proud going through this from what I saw from our team, and I'm looking forward to breaking it down for you guys and showing you. And this is the one time that I will say that really I recommend you go back and watch this game for yourself and see what you think, because I really enjoyed this game going through it. If this is your first time on this channel, we do this every week. I break down the games. I'm going to be getting some player spotlights going next week, and things like that, and some college prospect film as well. So even if you're not a Falcons fan, I think this is a very good channel to just talk football and go over some things, and I'm looking to bring more to the table with the channel. So if you do like the content, subscribe, like, comment. I try to respond to every comment, especially right now since there's not many of you. But if you do enjoy it, share it out. Like I said, I'm doing this for you guys and everything. So, but without further ado, I'm going to get into the clips. All right, guys, I wanted to start this off with going over Mariota's play. Now, I usually start a lot of these videos with talking about Mariota, but in this game, it's a very different take. Mariota, I don't remember what the stats were this game, but overall he was just fantastic this game. This is going to be the most glowing review of Marcus Mariota that I've had on this channel, and it's well deserved. And I'm going to start with this play in particular because it's a very simple concept. It's a concept that we've ran all year long, and the Bucs actually defend it pretty well. They actually recognize it. They're in just a base cover 3 right here. And Antoine Winfield is the flat defender, which if you know anything about him, he is a very good safety. I really wanted him in the draft back in 2020, I think is whenever he came out. But unfortunately he was picked before our second round pick came around. But yeah, I really like this. It's just a simple concept what we've ran all year. We're stacking receivers to one side of the field. OZ runs a clear out, and Drake is just going to run an out route. But the thing is that Antoine Winfield right here, he's playing in the flat. He recognizes the concept, so he gets back into the frame. Mariota does a great job of putting it right in a spot in between the safety and the free safety and Antoine Winfield. It's just a great throw, and I'm just going to play it here. You'll see here OZ's running the clear out. London comes up, he's cutting in. Look at this. When that ball's thrown, if this ball does not come in quickly, Antoine Winfield's in position to undercut it. Plus you've got the safety coming over the top as well, and it just finds a home and he gets a completion. Like, it's very risky, but I am so glad that he made that throw the way that he did. I mean, it was, like I said, I criticize Mariota a lot, but there's really no criticism there. I mean, that was the throw to make, and he made it. I mean, there's only 3 guys on a route. I mean, you could technically say he could dump off here, but you got a lot of traffic and everything. So the fact that he basically makes something out of nothing, because like I said, they're defending it very well. Like I said, he could dump it off here. That's probably the safer throw. But just that throw is elite, and that's why it frustrates me when Mariota does make the mistakes that he does, because I know he can do this, so but this is all positive pretty much for Mariota. That there was not really anything negative in this film by him, which is insane to say. Alright guys, this was from a few plays earlier in the game, and Mariota just does a great job. The defense, I just want to start off. The Bucs played us very well this game. Todd Bowles, I don't know how good he is as a head coach. That's still a verdict that's out. It's his first year. But as far as a defensive coordinator, he knows his stuff. And this one is just a basic two-man man coverage play. And they lock us down. There's nothing as far as passing goes, but Mariota gives you the versatility of having his legs, and he actually puts it to use here. And as you'll see whenever I play it, there's nothing there. Looks like they're kind of spying or a delayed blitz with White, which it would probably have been better if he was in a spy, because if you look, I mean, as far as coverage goes, it's on lock here. And then he just gets out, and I mean, he just keeps you on schedule with his legs. That's a nice 15-yard gain. So very, very decisive with that one. He didn't stutter or anything like that. He saw that there was nothing there, and he took what he could get. And that's what I want to see more from him. I want to see this. And we saw it in spades in this game. But I'll get into that further. Alright guys, this is one of those plays that doesn't really show up in a stat sheet. but is just invaluable as far as a drive is concerned, to keep from ruining a drive basically. This is a play action pass play, and the Bucs send a blitz with Devin White, who's just, he's a great player, very fast, physical player, and he diagnoses this, blows it up, but Mariota just puts a move on him and gets the ball off to his check down, which avoids a sack and gets us back to the line of scrimmage, so that we don't get behind the chains as much. Like I said, look, Devin White is on him like white on rice, and he just gives him a little ole, and then he just steps aside and gets it to the check down, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that doesn't show up. That's a no yard gain pass, right? But it could have been a 7-8 yard loss, on a sack, if not more. And he was just able to make a play. Just go back again. It's just, what more can you say on this play? And I'm going to look at it from the field view. I think this deserves a couple of different angles here, because it's just incredible that he was able to make a move on. That's not a nobody there that he faked out there. That's Devin White, I'm fair. I have to praise where praise is due, and Mariota deserves it. So this is another play. It's not going to show up on a stat sheet, but again, he avoids a sack, and he places the ball exactly where it needs to be. Unfortunately, Hodge doesn't come down with the catch, but man, I'm not going to go into because it turns into a scramble drill, so the routes that the receivers are running don't really matter, but just watch Mariota on this play. At first, he avoids the sack here. He rolls out, he steps up, and then he just puts a dime in the corner of the end zone, or not the end zone, the sideline. I can't talk today. But yeah, this is just an incredible play. Look, it's just a scramble drill, but the placement of the ball, man, and Hodge, man, come on. I know it's a difficult catch. It's not an easy catch, but man, that's one of those throws that you just have to make the catch. It's a perfect throw. So even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, it goes down as an incompletion. That was just a hell of a play. And like I said, he avoided like 2 sacks on that play as well. So he just played phenomenal this game. I hope it continues. Just another phenomenal play by Mariota here. He makes a great read and a great throw. It's a very simple concept here. London does a great job. He's running a clear out, but the way that he runs it very close in and then kind of goes out, which stresses this corner very well, and it kind of frees up space in the middle. And then I think this is OZ. He just runs a little crossover into that space. Mariota finds him and makes the throw. The only other person that's out on a route is Avery here. He's just running out in a little bit of the flat. So this is really just a 2-man route. We run that very often with a lot of success. The play action, our run game is creating a lot of these throwing lanes. But yeah, and then of course our receivers are running great routes to boot. You just see like London he's pressing this guy. He looks like he's going out, going here, and then he cuts back in. And these linebackers, the way they're flowing, they're just out of position, and you see the space that opens up. Mariota sees it and just puts it on a rope, man. And like I said, man, he made a lot of plays this game. I'm gonna cover most of them, because I mean, he's going to get his own spotlight basically at the beginning of this film session. And this was a big turning, well, I wouldn't say turning point in the game, but it was a massive blow in this first half, because this play is a touchdown. Mariota does perfect at getting the ball out quick. Our receivers, this is just a simple screen pass. Our tight end and receiver get out, and they got the blocks. Hodge just dropped the ball. I mean, when I run this, everybody else does their job, and Hodge just doesn't complete the pass. He's trying to run before he can walk. I mean, you gotta secure the catch. Why are your eyes off the ball right now? Looking at it. You need to secure the catch, then get your eyes upfield. Because look at all this space. If he catches that, he goes out here. Who's catching him? Nobody. Secure the catch, man. Secure the catch. But great play by Mariota. He just catches it, just flips his hips, gets the ball out. Just like you're supposed to. Flip the hips, get the ball out, right on target. You gotta make the catch. Gotta make that catch. And all it is he took his eyes off the ball before he secured the catch. That's why he dropped it. And so, if there's anybody that's a receiver in high school or whatever, make the catch first. Keep your eyes on the ball till you secure the catch, then go to get upfield. Because you securing the catch is the most important part of the play. So, just a little tip. Gonna have to start calling this man Hawaiian Vick, because he definitely made some runs in this game, and it's very good here. He actually probably reads this wrong, but he makes it right, because the read defender is 32 on this play, and he's actually in position to make the play. Mariota just slips under him and takes off. See, look, he's really looking at 32. Honestly, the ball should go to Algier here, and he could get upfield. We got blockers here, but Mariota's like, I trust myself. I want to keep it myself, and I'm gonna go. And I mean, he does. He makes a big play out of it, so can't really complain whenever it works. It's he probably should have handed it off to Algier, but it's also nice to see his wheels there. So I wanted to spotlight that as well. He was just all around good this game. You can tell in my voice, I'm very happy to break down his film this game. And again, this is just a good throw and a really good catch by London. I mean, again, there's not really much scheme wise to break down. I've broke it down a million times. We run a clear out and a shallow out. We do it all the time, but it's just what you do with it. Just a great throw. A hell of a catch by London. He just sticks his hand out and makes a one-handed grab. Like, that's some skill right there. But to give props to Mariota, he is actually throwing this, I believe, before London's even making his break. He sees it. He turns his hips, and he's making that throw right as London is making his break towards the sideline, so it doesn't give the defenders time to recover. And then London, of course, makes just a hell of a grab. It wasn't really a bad throw, it's just where he placed it. It was very hard to catch it. So yeah, that again, Mariota, he was on this game, making decisive decisions. A lot of other games I've seen hesitations. I've seen him stutter. This game he was decisive with his reads and made throws. So gotta give him all the credit in the world. And what a throw here. This is a touchdown to OZ. We're just doing a little bit of an RPO action, and again, Mariota just gets the ball out quick. He gets it to the right spot. There's a tiny window here, because if he hesitates on this throw at all. There's 3 defenders that could possibly get into the frame to make the play, but he doesn't hesitate. He just does the RPO action, gets the ball. Look how quickly he released that ball, and he throws it like, because you got this guy. I don't know how he saw the linebacker. I assume he did, the way that he threw this, because he throws it to kind of the outside shoulder of the receiver to make him turn. And I mean, unless it was just, I mean, he threw it quickly too, so it could have just been how he threw it. But I mean, that the way that he, like, look how, I mean, he doesn't hesitate at all. And that's what you have to do with these kind of plays, because they don't work unless you get the ball out quick. Because you're just trying to get the defense to move 1 or 2 steps out of position to make it, so you don't have a lot of time to there's not really a read on that play, you know. It's the only read, well, there is a read. It's you either hand the ball off or you're throwing it to the receiver. So you got to give the scheme a little bit of credit too. They make the reads fairly simple for Mariota. So that he doesn't have to, he can use his talents more so than having to really think things through. You still have to make the reads. You still have reads to make. You still have to make the throws. So that's not taking anything from Mariota by saying that, but just a hell of a throw. That's just great football. Now for this play, this was a 2-point conversion play late in the game. Now I will say that was not a good decision, just point wise. We had 13 points at this point. It was 21-13, and we went for 2. We end up getting it, so it makes it 15-21, which doesn't change anything. Whereas if you just kick the extra point, it's 14-21. Anyways, I don't understand the analytics that these coaches run, because simple math tells you that that's not smart to go for 2, because if you don't get it, then you're forced to go for 2 if you score again to tie the game. Whereas if you just kick the extra points, you just kick another extra point and you're tied. Or if you wanted to go for the win, once you score again, you could go for 2 for it all. But I digress. We're going to focus on the play now. This is a John Gruden special, the Spider 2 Y Banana is what this play is. It doesn't really develop because the Bucs are holding the shit out of our receivers. But it doesn't matter because he gets back to the backside on Hodge and makes the play. But what was theoretically drawn up was OZ was going to come on a little drag here. You got the Y banana here. You got the little banana route. The tight end going up here. And then you got another tight end here that is going to theoretically leak out to flat, but he has to stay in to block. They hold OZ, so OZ can't make his comeback, so he comes out this way. They hold the banana, so it just, it doesn't come out there. But they can hold the banana all they want because the Mariota splits the defense and makes a hell of a throw on the backside, which in this he's just running an over route, which you usually see in this type of play. So yeah, this is just the John Gruden special. But you see, they're just holding our guys. You see OZ, he's like, I don't know if I can get out there, so I'm just gonna try to make something happen here. Go back out. But it doesn't matter. Hodge is just opening the end zone, and what a hell of a throw there. I mean, that's right on a rope, man. He sees it. He looks at it. He's like, oh, there's nothing there. So he just comes back to this backside, which is usually the last read on that particular play. But none of the other guys got into a route, so it was really the only option he had, and he makes a hell of a throw there. But I did want to add that, Spider 2Y Banana is just iconic. It's ran a lot too, so like I said, see that the tight end was gonna leak out, but he ends up kind of blocking anyways because he wanted to alleviate that pressure. So It didn't really develop like Spire 2 wide banana, but that was what they were trying to run. So, but hell of a throw by Mariota. So, all right, guys, let's shift gears and focus on this defense. Now, I wanted to start this by saying, in the first half, it seemed like the Tampa Bay offense was just shredding us, and I mean, in some ways they were. But I wanted to say that just like Mariota's performance really surprised me, this defensive performance surprised me as well. We actually played a very solid game. I just want to say this, I think Tom Brady is overrated. I think he's very overrated, but he's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback for what he is. He takes what the defense gives him, and he knows it. You're not going to throw anything at Tom Brady that he hasn't seen. I mean, he's played for 65 years, so you think he learned something by that time, and he has. So as we go through this, I'm going to show you that there was a lot of times that our defense did everything right and still lost the play. But this isn't one of them. The first one that I'm going to show is Taquan Graham. Taquan Graham he's going to get a player spotlight for sure. He is developing. Honestly, I don't want to put the pressure on him. Grady Jarrett's a one-of-a-kind player, but I see the ascension like I saw with Grady through his first couple of years. So hopefully he gets somewhere around that, that area. But here he just splits a double team and makes a stop on a run play, and it's very, very good. I mean, he does exactly what you need to do. He hits the guy, he gets skinny. He hits the point man, gets skinny, kind of just fights his way through and gets in and makes the tackle. That's a very difficult play for defenders to do. It doesn't look like much, but I mean, and he also does a very good job of anchoring. You want to anchor with this foot to prevent you going forward. And he actually goes down to his knee here to kind of create, like I said, he's getting skinny. For one thing, he's not giving this blocker a lot of body to get a hold of, and so he's really just neutralizing this blocker, and that way he can then get back up and drive and he uses a great use of his hands to push off the shoulder on the guard and just gets free and makes the tackle. That's a very difficult play to make. So just kudos to him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he develops throughout the year and in the next few years, because we might have another Elite 3 tech on our hands, guys. But y'all know Grady Jarrett can't be shown up, so he made some plays too. And this one is he just mean mugs this guard here. He does it perfect. What he does here is he explodes his arms into the chest, and then he grabs cloth, which is he just grabs the jersey and you rip. He pulls the guard so that his momentum carries with him, and then he just kind of does a over the head swim move and gets free. Just great play. You'll see here he explodes. Just the explosion. He gets his hands. He's got his hands inside, which inside leverage. He's not really that low at this point, but he just grabs the jersey, and you'll see him rip, and guy falls over, does an overhead swim. Just great technique right there. I mean, Grady's a load anyways, but he's very technical. And that's why he's consistently getting in the backfield. Just a great play by him, and there's not much more to say. He's one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. I wanted to show this play because it highlights Grady Jarrett's just incredible awareness. He's actually rushing the passer, and he sees the running back leak out, and he just kind of goes, and he ends up helping make the tackle. You know, and you just don't see this from a lot of players. I mean, look, he sees the running back going out. He's like, why is he doing that? Oh, okay. And then he notices that there's no one covering him, and like, I mean, it probably would have still been stopped, but Grady just lays the hammer on him too, makes his presence known. I don't know how much effect it would have had on the play overall because you still had 2 defenders out there. But just to see a guy recognize that, and not only recognize it, like go with his instincts and just take control, that's impressive. And that was I believe that was on 3rd down. I think they have a 4th down stop on this drive. It might have been 2nd down. I can't remember exactly what down it was. I wish it showed that. It used to show that at the beginning, so you would know for sure. But yeah, just a hell of a play. So this was just a great effort by our entire defense. But again, Grady Jarrett gets the highlight because he gets double team, splits the double team, gets held, and still forces the running back backwards. So just crazy good play by him. I mean, again, he's one of a kind, guys. He is definitely the guy that we need to build this defense around. He is just, if there wasn't an Aaron Donald in the league, he'd be the best defensive tackle in the league. He's the 2nd best. Still have to give the props to AD, man, but Grady Jarrett is a close 2nd in my opinion. Alright guys, I'm going to take a look at the secondary, and in particular on this play, Casey Hayward. Now earlier in the year, people were criticizing Hayward after the Saints game, which I went into that, why that wasn't necessarily fair in a lot of ways. But since then, he's just been incredible as the cornerback too. He's a tremendous upgrade against what we had last year in Fabian Monroe. He's just a very smart, intelligent player, and he shows it on this play because he stays in phase with the receiver, and then he's smart enough to get his head around, and then the way that he positions his body, he makes it where he's basically interfering, but it's not going to get called because of the way that he does it. He doesn't put the hands on the receiver. He just kind of like lets himself, he does like a trust fall basically into the receiver to prevent the catch. But if you get your head around, you're not using your hands like that. It's not agreeing. Like he's just taking his. He still has the right to his position on the field too, and to the ball. So this isn't pass interference. Some people will complain that it is, but it's really not, because he's not intentionally impeding the route or anything. He's just solidifying his position, and I mean, you make the receiver catch you. He's doing a trust fall here basically, and he gets his head around. They're not ever well, we'll see later. They could have thrown the flag because of the referee crew they are, but this is textbook how you play defense without getting pass interference calls. So if you're a high school DB or whatever watching this, just get your head around. Don't maul the receiver. Do a trust fall. Do a trust fall. Make him catch you. Because if he's catching you, you can't catch the ball. So, great play. Well, I'm gonna replay it just so we can see it start to finish here. Just a hell of a play there. But yeah, very, very impressed with his play. And Mykal Walker is another player that I've given a lot of criticism for, rightfully so. But on this particular play, and he made a few plays in this game, and he does it well. On this play, he is the strong side linebacker, and he just comes down like he's supposed to and takes on the block, and he actually is able to make the play. But what I'm impressed with is him just coming down and taking on the block and holding his position, because a lot of times he gets lost in traffic and is not in position to, because basically, as you know, you're kind of a secondary contained man as the strong side linebacker. You're wanting to force the running back in to the teeth of the defense so that the play can be made. He makes the play here too, so that's just an added bonus. But I just love that he gets out. I mean, he sees what's going on, he gets out, and then he just lays a very solid. I mean, he doesn't let. Another thing that gets on my nerves with linebackers is they'll kind of like stop their feet and wait for the blocker to get up on them. You have no momentum there. All your power comes from you going downhill and hitting. So, just a great play by him. And then he gets off the block and makes a tackle. That's another thing. Sometimes defenders in general fall in love with the block more than they do the play, and they're just tied up with the O-line, and the O-line's going to let you do that all day, because as long as you're with them, you're not on the ball carrier. So just a very good play. Like I said, I've criticized him a lot, but in this particular case, he makes the play and he does what he's supposed to do. This is another good play by Walker. He's the weak side linebacker on this one. Actually, it starts out, it's kind of a misdirection. So he's actually he's on the strong side. But the way that the flow of the run is concerned, he has to play it like a weak side linebacker. Because it's a cutback, so he's got to play it instead of taking on a block. He's trying to flow into the lane and stay free of blockers and make the stop. And he does. He just kind of comes down and kind of sifts through the line and gets in the hole and makes the stop. So yeah, and they're calling out, and he just, like I said, because you see Rashaan Evans, he's kind of taking on that strong side role, trying to come down and force the play inside, and then Walker is coming through to clean up any traffic, so any mess. So and he makes a great play. I mean, he to get under that block too. I'm gonna take that back, because to get under that block the way that he does, that's just. I wish he could do this every play, because he'd be a hell of a linebacker. He's not perfect in this game, I'll show you, but right there, a hell of a play. And so this play, in watching it, I'm pretty sure this is a miscommunication between Rashaan Evans and Walker. And I'm not in the meeting room, so I don't know who really makes the mistake, as it's called. Now, right now we're running a cover 3 shell, so I would think this is actually Rashaan Evans making a mistake, but I don't know what the kind of concept, because he kind of tries on this play. Walker is basically the boundary corner in the shell, just because there's nobody outside here. Your safety comes down, so you would think that he would stick with this receiver. It's kind of a match concept. But Rashaan, with it being a match concept, he takes this guy because he's running a little like drag route. Walker recognizes that he's not going to get out to the flats and kind of shifts gears and puts on the brakes. Unfortunately, that move gets Walker injured. So I wanted to say that it's Walker's mistake, but I really think it was just a miscommunication from them, because you see, like, Rashaan Evans, he takes a step like he's going to go into the flat routes. Walker's, getting into his position here, and then he realizes that Rashaan ain't going out to the flats, so he tries to shift gears to get out to play Leonard Fournette. And then when he does, he tweaks his groin, and you see him get hurt. So that's just unfortunate that happened. Like I said, I'm not in the film room, but I think that he was correct on the play, and Rashaan Evans was supposed to go out into the flat. But again, I don't know, because it's a match concept, so I don't know what the rules were. It was definitely just a miscommunication on their part, and it's unfortunate that he tried to make a play and got hurt. So that is unfortunate. I had said earlier that our defense, when I went back and watched, actually defended very well. And Brady just made the correct read and play a lot of times. And this is an example of that. We're just running a cover 3 play, but we're leaking out actually to try to throw him off, or leaking out harder out into the flats. But D. Alford is still playing. He's still got the flat assignment, because obviously you don't want to just have Carter out here covering a running back, because he's not going to be able to make the play. So they just run kind of a concept that we run often. They just clear out, have a clear out route, and then an out route from the slot receiver. And we defend this pretty well, especially on the back end here. We cover up the play pretty well. On this one, they're running kind of like a stick and kind of a over play, and then on this play you have kind of a clear out, and you have your running back here. So they're trying to stress on this play. You see his eyes. They're stressing the flat defender here. NCD, you can say, well, Carter's out here, so why doesn't he just take this receiver? Well, Carter is not he is a linebacker, but he's a rush linebacker, and he's not got a lot of lateral quickness. So you kind of have to respect this, because look at Brady's eyes. He's looking at this running back, but he knows where he's going with the ball. He sees the opening. He's just trying to draw Alford down a couple of steps. Alford does a good job of flipping his hips and trying to get back into the play, but Brady gets the ball out so quick that there's really not anything that he could do on that play. So you can criticize the defense, but really it was just Brady making a play. Understanding the coverage, making a play, everything. Because what if Alford had stuck with the receiver, Brady would have just dumped it off to the running back, and he would have probably gained about a similar amount of yards. Because Carter, he wouldn't have been able to make that play, and Brady knew that. So did Alford. And again, this is another play that is ran, and Brady just gets the ball out so quick, and the route is ran so well that there's really no defending this route. Playing just a cover 3 again. Like I said, Brady's a very interesting quarterback to face, because he's seen so much that, defenses have tried different things. You send pressure, he's going to be able to recognize that and get the ball out quick. He gets the ball out so quickly that it's hard for you to do anything, because he does most of his stuff pre-snap, and then he just goes with it. He's very decisive with the ball. Things that I want to see Mariota do, Tom Brady does on the regular. So while I think Brady is overrated because he is traded as the GOAT and everything like that, it's not saying that he's not a good quarterback, because he's very difficult and he's very frustrating to deal with. Just from a playing perspective, because it's very hard to defend him. And here is an example of that, because he just gets the ball out before Mike Evans even makes his break, so AJ doesn't even have a chance to react. I mean, look, he's making the throw already, and Mike Evans is already out on his route there, and there's nothing. That's an easy pitch and catch. And even if you've got a flat defender, which he's kind of occupied with the running back just for a second, the ball's already out. I mean, Brady knew where this ball was going as soon as the ball hit his hands. And so there's not much you can do there. So, I mean, criticize the defense when it's necessary, but in this game, I'm kind of summarizing the game for you. So this is the one time that I will say that you probably should go back and watch the film yourself, just to see everything, because I've watched every play and I'm kind of summarizing it. This happened so often. They were in a good defense. I couldn't really criticize the defensive call. I couldn't criticize anything. It's just Brady was making a play. So it is what it is. And on this play, if you look at the line, you'll probably recognize this play, this stunt that we run. It'll look very familiar to another part of this game. But again, Brady just gets the ball out so quickly that Jarrett's got a free run to him, and we don't have terrible coverage on it. But you just can't defend a perfect pass sometimes, and the fact that he makes this pass with pressure in his face just makes it more impressive. So like I said, the defense, I felt, from what I've seen, they played a really solid game, probably their best game defensively, as far as being in position and things of that nature. But you're just playing a very talented quarterback, and I mean, even I'll say it over and over again, Tom Brady is the most overrated. He's probably the most overrated player that has ever played the game. But just because of the hype that's placed upon him, but he's still a hell of a player, so. And on this play, I have to give the defense great kudos, especially I think this is Hayward and Alford here, because what the Bucs are running is a clear, what we run, they're running a little in route. Instead of an out route, they're running an in route, and they're running a clear. They're trying to clear out the defenders. The way that the wide receiver here runs his route, he's trying to create a natural rub to take both Alford and Hayward out of the play, and the number 10 here is going to try to cut underneath and get in for the touchdown. But they do a great job of just getting underneath, recognizing that it's a rub, getting underneath. See, Alford's got his eyes on Brady. He sees where the ball's going, so he just kind of bails on that, and he just makes a play. And that's very difficult. I mean, that's a split second. And if Alford continues to carry this route, if he did not come off that and he tried to carry that route because that's his guy, then Hayward's in a position where he's gonna get kind of bumped, and then the only guy that really can make the play is right here, but he's probably in if he doesn't if he doesn't do that. But they do a nice job of rallying and making the stop. So all the credit in the world to this defense. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in this game that weren't so good, but I really respect the defensive effort that we saw today. All right, let's shift gears once again and talk about this run game, and in particular, I want to talk about the offensive line. Again, I've said it over and over again. This is the best offensive line that the Falcons have ever had that I've seen. Maybe ever. They work so well together. It's just five guys. And really, I mean, we have, tight ends and stuff that come in and they contribute as well. But the core five are just playing so well together. They're passing off defenders, getting up to the second level, securing those blocks, and they're not committing penalties while doing it. So that, I mean, they have been just tremendous, and I just want to give them as much shine as possible. Now, Algier runs well too. He sees his vision is getting better. He saw the hole develop, and he just hits it hard and gets up there. But really, I mean, just watch the O-line here as they go. They're just flowing. First, you got Lindstrom. He puts an arm to help McGarry with this blocker. Then he's getting up to the second level with the linebacker. Same thing on this play. Vita Vea, he's a load to defend. And so you're getting up on him. Dahlman does a great job of just sealing him off. Wilkinson gets up to the linebacker. And then you got Trayon here against Matthews. And Matthews just kind of rides him out of the play. And then Algier look at all this. This is a running back stream. Look at this. Look at this. That is a perfect... Oh, man. He's got grass for days. And he just hits it. He does a good job at hitting the hole and getting upfield. But, I mean, he's got 5-6 yards before he even makes first contact. Like I said, our running backs playing tremendous. But really the run game is the offensive line. They're playing perfect ball right now, and you can tell they're just well coached and just understand their assignment, because you can really, like, Gossett came in the Seattle game and played well for Wilkinson, and so I think this coaching staff is just tremendous. All right, guys, and this is a very underrated play as well. It's on 4th down, so it's not like super underrated, because obviously you know how big the play is. But QB sneaks are very difficult to execute properly sometimes. You have to have very good interior line play. Basically what the line wants to do here is they want to create a wedge. And then the way they do this on this one is Dahlman and Wilkinson combo 90 here, and then Lindstrom just kind of takes care of 90. Is that 94? And then Mariota does a great job of just kind of falling in between the wedge and just kind of pushing through that way. So he is kind of the point man, and it's just very well executed. And see him just drive through the wedge and just kind of find that little space and get through. He gets about 3 yards on that play when you only need 1. And I mean, that's just incredible blocking. Again, just a testament to our offensive line and the improvements that they've made this year. I hate bringing up Hennessy because it's irrelevant at this point, but you didn't see that. That's why Dahlman won this position, was because he can get push. Hennessy, he just didn't have the push. He was just poor with his leverage and just could not get push on the line. And that's the biggest difference that we're seeing from this offensive line, is they're getting push off the line of scrimmage, and it's making a big difference. This just shows that our run game is here to stay, because we've got running backs. It doesn't matter what running back we're putting in, doesn't matter what receivers are in, doesn't matter what personnel period is in. We're getting open lanes for the run game, and we're getting big gains. And Tampa has, I believe they were the number 1 ranked rush defense in the league. They're up there. They're in the top 5 at least, and they're very well schemed. Like I said, I was going to show some plays to show how well this defense played, but if you go back and watch the game, Tampa's defense played us pretty well for most of this game, but we were able to get runs when we needed them. We were able to grind them out, really. So I just wanted to show this play to kind of illustrate just on down the line, our receivers, line, everybody was just blocking well. And of course our running backs are hitting the holes, getting upfield, and then getting yards after contact too, and just pushing. This is just a testament again to our coaching staff, because really we don't have that much difference in personnel this year than we had in previous years. We're just playing better. Let's talk about Avery Williams here. We were talking about the run game from an offensive line perspective, and I was saying that we have guys that just come in and they're, as far as the running back is concerned, and they're just making plays. I really wanted to give a shine to Avery Williams here, because the past few games he was basically on this team as a return guy solely, and they moved him to running back, and you're kind of like, oh, they're just trying to find him a position. No, he is a running back. Like, he is a running back, and I remember whenever he was drafted, he was a corner, listed as a corner. He was a return specialist is what he was drafted for. But in the press conference, when they were talking about the pick, Arthur Smith was talking about his versatility and how he felt that he could play on the offensive side of the ball. Well, this year, you're seeing it. And he's just got tremendous balance and tremendous vision, and it comes from, I'm assuming, from his time as a return man. And he gets a touchdown here, but really, I mean, good blocking again. But the fact that he was able to keep his balance the way that he did right here and get into the end zone is just tremendous. And I just wanted to point out that because he's made tremendous strides. He also had a very good return early in this game before halftime. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalize on that for a number of reasons, but he was very close to breaking that. So, I mean, he's just been a very tremendous player for us this early half of the year. And I look forward to seeing how much more we use him in the offense, because I think he's a good change of pace back for us to complement the other guys that we've got, in Huntley and Algier. And then when Patterson comes back, I think he even gives you something different than Patterson does. So, and I just wanted to shift my focus to talk about Troy Andersen a little bit, because the news came out, a few days ago that Deion Jones was traded to the Browns, and everyone was kind of surprised, especially with the Walker injury. I got to say I was too. We basically gave Deion Jones away, but the reason that we did was because Troy Andersen, week to week, has improved by leaps and bounds, and he's at the point where I think this coaching staff wants to get him a lot more in-game reps. And if you have Deion Jones on your team coming back off IR, it's a lot harder to do that, because you have a lot of guys that you're rotating in and out. Whereas if he's not on the team, you go ahead and get rid of him. You give those reps to Andersen so that he can grow into his role and continue his ascension. I also wanted to point out Bwady on this play as well, because Andersen gets pressure, but they actually drop Bwady, so it's actually just a 4-man rush. So it's good on Andersen to still get pressure, but Bwady actually does well in coverage as well, and takes out the short route, the little dump off route, to make this a hard decision by Brady. And I mean, he throws an incomplete pass, but he's just getting the ball out quick. It's hard to sack Brady. So just a great play all around. But I just want to point out a few plays by Andersen, because I mean, he is really developing. I mean, he just gets off, he gets down, he misses the block there from Fournette. He makes a miss, and he gets a hit on Brady. And then rewind that back, look at Bwady on this play right here on the backside. He drops off into coverage, and then he comes down and just plays solid coverage. I mean, the lateral quickness and change of direction speed that he has, I mean, he looks very polished in that coverage. So I really like the young talent that we have here, and everything. And obviously the coaching staff does too. I mean, like I said, Deion Jones getting traded, that was a statement right there. That was a statement saying that they feel very comfortable with Andersen. And watching this tape and watching this film, I mean, I'm not going to show all the plays, but I'm going to show enough to kind of illustrate what the coaching staff probably saw that gave them that decision and made them feel comfortable with that. Because I think they were kind of holding on to Dion as kind of an insurance policy on the fact that if Andersen isn't ready, they can redshirt him, you know. But through these weeks, because in the Rams game, I was wanting Andersen out of there because he was blowing run assignments and everything like that. It was very frustrating. But then he came in the next game, played a little better. Came in the Browns game, played a little better. And in this game, he played tremendous when he came in. He actually changed the defense. Like when Walker went out and Andersen came in, our defense played differently with him in it. So the fact that he's done that in such a short period of time is just phenomenal, especially coming from a small school like he did and everything, getting up to the speed of the game. He's just a tremendous player, and he's going to be a mainstay, I feel, for years to come. And again, Troy Andersen, like I said, this is just highlighting how much he's improved. What I love from my linebackers is them just see it and go. And in that, because that's, even if you're wrong, I would rather you just diagnose, go with your gut, and just go instead of hesitating, stopping your feet, then you get blocked up, and then you're just in kind of no man's land. So he does a great job of diagnosing this play and just shooting the gap and making the tackle. This is stuff that you see from veteran linebackers, and he's already doing it. 5 games in? Just incredible. Just incredible. Come down and beat because you got Brady or Auden is his name, Cade Auden. He comes through. He's the pull man here, which they have two. He's really the sift block, and then you have a pull man. He's replacing that, and Andersen has to beat that, which just shows his athleticism as well, just to make that play. And I mean, that's a game-changing play. Like I said, I watched the film, and you saw that every time he was on the field, he was making plays like that. Like I said, I'm going to highlight a few of those, but I mean, he is really coming into his own, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays the rest of the year. And lastly, with Troy Andersen, I just wanted to show a real quick clip of him in coverage, and just showing how well he's recognizing plays and making an open field tackle. We're just in a simple, this might be cover 2 or cover 3. Let's see what the safety does here. It's a cover 2. So he's just in a little hook zone. He recognizes the receiver out in the little, doing a little hook route. Then he comes in and just makes a play, makes an open field tackle, which we've struggled with in the past. So I mean, like I said, I just wanted to show that real quick. He was making plays the whole time he was on the field. I could make a whole film session on him, but I just wanted to highlight a few things, just to show how much of a difference he made once he came into the game. And I really want to just close out with the 2 plays that we know this film study was going to close out with. This first one is the bullshit holding call that we got against us, and it was just great coverage. We really got in the receivers' faces. We're kind of in like a cover 1 man, and we're just jamming them at the line. They call holding here, but Terrell just jams him within the first 5 yards, and he doesn't hold him or anything. He actually lets go. You'll see he lets go here. You'll probably be able to see it better from the other angle, hopefully. I don't know how the all 22, sometimes it cuts it off, but hopefully we'll be able to see I mean, there might have been a little bit of a grab, but inside the 5 yards, he's able to do that. And I really wanted to make a montage of the flags, but I think this film session is run long enough, and we all know the worst call. But they missed calls for them the whole time. Grady got held about 3 times, at least that I saw, and they were big plays. On the touchdown that Mike Evans got, I think the only touchdown he got, the big long play that he got, the last touchdown they scored, was blatant pass interference. I just suggest that you go watch that. It was offensive pass interference, full extension. They didn't call it. So the Bucs fans that are complaining about the pass interference that they missed, that shouldn't even happen, because this should have been 4th down here, and they should have been punting us the ball. Yeah, just go back and watch the film, because there's plenty of plays that they missed, plenty of holds that they missed on Jarrett and other players. Yeah, it's egregious. And then the similar hit on Mariota happened on that Sanat sack, and they didn't call it, which that was not a penalty, but neither was the play that Jarrett made that we're about to show. But that's all I'm gonna say. I was gonna make a montage, but really, I mean, you guys are getting a long film session here, and it's kind of pointless at this point. We know we were jobbed, so we'll just go from there. All right, so we know how this play ended up going, but I wanted to kind of talk about the technical perspective of it, of how we ran this stunt, because we ran it earlier in the game. I showed a similar play to it. I really want to highlight, honestly, Wk5 here, because he does a nice spin move to push the line more inside, so that this stunt gets even more freed up than it did in the previous play, or that I showed this earlier in the film study. And then they just have I don't know if this was I don't know who this is that they have here. It might be we'll see on the other view. But they have him in like a 1 tech. Grady's in his spot where he's most comfortable in 3 tech, and he just runs a little stunt. Like I said, Wk5 comes inside and he does a nice little spin move to make it even more difficult for the line to pick up this stunt, and then Grady just does the rest, which of course he gets jobbed out of a great play, but he just comes in and gets right to, I mean, the way, he could have even taken this, the way that he cuts this down and gets it down, turns his hips, flips his hips, and gets parallel here, and comes down, instead of, because a lot of guys that would have run this stunt would kind of run it out this way, and then Brady could step up. But the fact that he cut it inside like this, Brady has no way to step up into the play. And also, Wk5 does a good job of creating traffic here to prevent a step up as well. I mean, he tries, but he's not going to outrun Grady. And I mean, of course, you see Jerome Bogert throwing his damn hanky out. And I thought it was TQ probably, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, TQ's in the one tech here. And let's see what he does. Yeah, he does good at taking down 2 guys with the slant and then the stunt. I mean, the line works so well together to make this all work together that it's just incredible, and it's a pity. It's so sad that it got ruined by the referees, because they called a perfect defense for that, and it was 3rd down. Got to stop and would have at least gave us a chance to go down and score, which we had been doing. Since early on in the 4th quarter, we were doing that. So, man, it was just unfortunate that the game ended the way that it did, because it was a good, hard-fought game by both teams, and it's just sad that the refs have to ruin it. That's just the pity of it. So in conclusion, guys, again, I love the effort from our team, and honestly, the Bucs played a good game too. I'm not taking anything away from the Bucs, because Tom Brady does get on my nerves because he does work the officials, but you know what? If it works, can you really blame him? it's on the refs, man. The refs, you cannot let a game be decided that way. It's so wrong, man. Because both these teams were playing very well, and I would have loved to have seen is Tampa going to step up, make a defensive stop, or are we going to actually, finish this off and, exercise some demons for us? It would be nice to have a comeback against the team that we finish, that we could try to do at least, especially a division rival for the lead in the division, man. To come down on a call like this, which we're going to get them again. And hopefully we'll be better off. We just don't need to let it come down to a call. But it wasn't just that. It was, like I said, I wish I could have time to do a montage and everything for it, but really I don't want this video to run too awful long, especially on something that's not really, what are we going to gain from that other than the ref's job does, right? But like I said, just go back and watch it. There was a couple of different holds that they had on Grady Jarrett. There was one on Carter that they missed. And they pretty much hit every call on the Falcons. Not to say that we didn't commit any penalties. That pass interference missed. They said that there was pass interference missed. But it was close. I could see either way. I'm surprised they didn't throw it with what they did, but they sure made up for it on the next couple of plays. But yeah, and I actually went back and looked at we thought it was a backwards pass. I actually looked at it. It was not a backwards pass. So I give credit where credit's due. On the rewatch, but man. And I really wanted to put more into this. Like Dean Marlowe had a few good plays. I wanted to put that in there. Like I said, I just didn't want to run it too long. And you'll see. I think that was one of the plays that I had. And I think Dean makes another play. Maybe on this one. I'm not sure. Hopefully, if I put it on the right spot, it'll show both his plays. But anyways, this is the pass interference call here. I'll rewind that just because. Yeah, look at that. Look at him just shove Terrell off. Sorry, I know this is the conclusion, and I was just running the film, but this is the stuff that they were missing all game. And they want to complain to us about one missed pass interference after we got it shouldn't even happen because it should have been fourth down because AJ Terrell didn't hold on that play. But I digress. It is what it is. But I really like how this team is progressing as a whole. So, and here's another penalty. There's a hold on the tackle. He holds, or maybe it was a guard. I don't know. It was on the 2-point conversion though. You'll see it. I think it's on Jarrett. Or no, maybe it was a different play. I don't know. But anyways, it was this play. This is. I thought that was the 2-point conversion. Yeah, there's the hold. There it is. 78. Look at him. Yeah, it was on Abdullah Andersen. Yeah. I knew it was coming up. Sorry. I know that's taken away from this conclusion, but it hurts me. Like I said, I was going to make a montage of it, but honestly, the film is doing my work for me. So, but anyways, I'm going to leave it with that. Just a great effort by our team. It's just sad how it ended, but we're gonna get more cracks at this, and really this is the year of the rebuild. Getting the culture changed. We started that last year, but we have a lot of guys new and everything. So this was a year to build culture, and we're doing a great job of that. We're learning how to win. This would have been our third win in a row. And it was the first time we had back-to-back wins. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what we see for the rest of the year. But anyways, this is Ripcliffe signing off. Peace out.